Hello, I'm Jody Wolf, and you're watching Expoz, or rather listening to. Today, May 7, 2017, it is 1:11 a.m. in Birmingham, and I have perhaps the strangest topic you may have ever heard in regards to the church and the rapture of the church. Guys, I told you that here of late that during prayer, things has been popping in my mind. Same thing happened today, but not during my 8 p.m. prayer. This happened just moments ago. And it's so strange. I don't know how to take it, but yet that's what I got, okay? I'm going to take you back to a time when I was young. And how young was I don't know. I'm going to say 8, 10, maybe 12 years old. That when I found and my mother used to read the Bible to me starting, I know, at about age 4. That one time I said, I felt so sad for Jesus. I always cried when I was young reading the story, how he was horribly treated, and that he took the place of a known sinner on a cross when he didn't earn it or deserve it. And I always thought in my mind when I would cry that I would go up there for him, but which is a laughable thing. But again, I was young, and that was my thought. So that hit me during a silent prayer a few minutes ago, but something else hit me right in the middle of it. And I don't know why it came, but I'm going to tell you exactly what did happen. And then I had to go on the internet and research it, and I was shocked to find out what I did find out. Okay. The Bible mentions hair over 100 times in verses. Like Daniel 3:27, the three in the fire, Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, not one hair on their head was singed. Luke 21:18, Jesus warns his disciples of persecutions, but you do not fear no one, or not one of your hairs on your head will be lost. Matthew 10:30, the very hair on your head is numbered. So that just proves to us that God knows more about us than we know about us. But let me tell you why that came to my mind before I look those verses up. I'm sitting here thinking, after listening to Dan Goodwin on Prophecy in the News talking about the two witnesses. And he said he thinks the two witnesses, Elijah and Moses, Moses, will be the two because of whatever belief he had. He also believes they were two witnesses when the stone was removed and Jesus walked out of the tomb. He thinks they'll also come back to be able to tell the Jews, look, we saw these things. You missed the Messiah. He came and you missed him. But they're there now to teach the Jews and tell the Jews that was your Messiah. But he is coming back again when you believe in him. But here's the interesting part. I was thinking, again, it came to me. And it's not something that popped out of my own thinking, it's something that popped into my thinking. Jesus arrested at night, okay? Beating started around daylight. He was forced to carry his cross. His beard was pulled nearly totally out. The hair on his head pulled out. Hair on his body torn out by the cuts and the nine-tailed whips that just ripped him to pieces, counting every cut on and in his body, every splinter on and in his body, every hair that was lost on him, every single thing that could cuts, and otherwise you could number those cuts, and we couldn't, but you can. That day we'll know. But is it possible that when they asked Jesus, said, Jesus, how many times should I forgive this guy? He keeps asking me to forgive him after he's done something wrong. And Jesus said 70 times 7. Well, that number is meant to be an unlimited number. As many times if he asks for forgiveness, give him forgiveness. But if you take that number and you come up with like 490, which we know it could be 4,900,000, as long as we ask. But take 490. Now, consider the number of hairs on a human head. That is 100,000. How many hairs is on the rest of the body? You ready for this? 4,900,000 hair follicles on the human body. That gives us 5 million hairs on our body. Counting the number of cuts inside and outside his body, the number of hairs that was pulled out of his body, and the horrible things, and I'm talking about hairs out of his arms and legs, his chest, everywhere. And even those that had been regrown over the years that came out or lost, but the point I'm getting at, I don't know how many hair he lost on his body. I don't know how many cuts he had on his body. I just know that there was not 1 square inch on his entire body that didn't have multiple cuts, not 1 square inch. You probably could not come up with a quarter of an inch. Count every cut he had, every hair he lost during that time, and then multiply it by 490. Guys, that's a lot of hair. And just say, and I'm just talking, but this is what came to me. Could it be that counting the hairs and the cuts, could it be that the number could have been 7 or 8 million, 6 million, and then 490 times that number? We don't know. It is possible. And with a warning to boot, Rapture Watch is on, guys. A Rapture Watch is on. I've never seen the likes of it in my life as I see it today. Jody Wolf Expoz.